to all the attendees and a very good morning to this second webinar of MedTech Mission, which is a mission for advancement in high impact areas of medical technologies. The call for proposal opened on 15th of September 2025, and this webinar is to support you to understand the mission and its objectives more clearly and to respond to your queries. We will be giving you an overview of the scheme and key objectives, which would be given by our leaders, 3 leaders. The scheme features and key questions would be apprised by Dr. Tanga, and then we will have a walkthrough of the call for proposal for the concept note submission form, followed by question and answer. And we request you to put in your questions in the chat box. And now I hand it over to Dr. Alka Sharma, our Additional Director General, Extramural Research. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Tarna. A very good morning to all of you. Thank you very much for joining this important webinar on the very important theme. So as you know that the MedTech Mission is a national initiative launched jointly by ANRF, ICMR and Gates Foundation at a total budget of rupees 750 crore. This mission is aimed at boosting indigenous development and commercialization of affordable, high-quality medical technologies to facilitate increased self-reliance, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat, in medical devices and diagnostics. The objective of this MedTech Mission is to support development and commercialization of indigenous, high-quality, affordable, and innovative medical technologies, especially those that already have proof of concept, that is mid to high technology readiness level. This mission encourages collaboration amongst academia, hospitals, engineering institutions, industry, MSMEs, startups, with clearly defined deliverables among partners. So today we are privileged to have with us the heads of partnering institutions who have played a key role in shaping these national efforts. We have our leader from ICMR, Dr. Rajiv Bahel, Secretary DHR and DG ICMR, and also CEO ANRF, Dr. Shiv Kumar Kalyanaman. Dr. Harish from Gates Foundation could not join us due to some other important assignments. So now with this background, I invite CEO and ANRF, Dr. Shiv Kumar, to share his remarks. Over to you, Dr. Shiv Kumar.
Thank you, Alka ji. Thank you, Tarna ji, for the kind introductions. And again, a very, very warm welcome to all the participants of this webinar. I see there are over 325 participants at this count when I quickly look at it, and growing. And also we had many hundred participants in the last webinar. So it's very, very heartwarming for us to see the surge of interest across disciplines, across the bioengineering, the engineering community and the scientific community, as well as the medical community, the medical fraternity, the hospitals, and also hospitals driving research. Thanks to all the work of ICMR and also, the private sector, startups, MSMEs, and industry, thanks to the support of the Gates Foundation. So we are so delighted as Anusandhan National Research Foundation to support this program in partnership with ICMR and the Gates Foundation. The program exemplifies how the government of India is coming together as all of government to support this, and also all of government and all of society in partnership. You see the foundations and the non-governmental sector partnering with us on the funding side. We see industry and startups partnering with academia and the labs and the hospitals on the response to these programs. We strongly believe that this is the way way of the future, and we hope to do many more programs of this kind, right? So coming to this particular program, our goal, as Dr. Alka Sharma ji mentioned, is really to drive indigenization and acquisition of capabilities and technology, but to really focus towards a product type goal, product nation goal, which is why we've asked for the projects and programs to really start at a TRL level of 3 and above, and then really have a delta TRL or a or a change in the technology maturity as well as the market maturity of at least 3 or 4 as part of the program, right? So that is one of the expectations of this. So we would like this to be run in a very focused, milestone-oriented way and in a product-oriented way. We would also like this to drive affordable indigenous healthcare, and by being affordable, we also become competitive globally so that way we can use this program to really bootstrap an import dependency challenge to an export opportunity, in addition to serving, right? So, and MedTech's time has come, as well as it's also very interdisciplinary across medicine and all forms of technology, including, sort of technologies like AI, including material science, including, bioengineering of various kinds and so on, right? With that, I would like to hand it over to Dr. Rajiv Bail for his comments. But, we are delighted to support this, and we hope to do more in the coming days.
Thank you, Dr. Shiv Kumar. And I just want to say a few things that we are all very happy and delighted that we will be working together on this critical mission. The newly formed ANRF, Anusandhan National Research Foundation, is in the lead. And at the Indian Council of Medical Research, we are delighted to join this effort, and also with our partners at the Gates Foundation. Our goal is that India should become Atmanirbhar in the area of medical technologies. And in this particular call, the larger focus is on devices and diagnostics. Particularly devices, very, very large percent of what we use in our hospitals, in our clinics, in our labs, the devices are actually made and imported from other countries. And this makes our healthcare more expensive and makes us dependent on other countries. Our goal is for the ANRF and all the partners, there are 11 different scientific departments that work in very close unison with ANRF, and our combined goal is to change this so that there is indigenous technology developed in India, evaluated in India, manufactured in India, and made available at affordable prices, not only to Indian citizens, but then also to the rest of the world. So that being the bigger goal, this particular mission will focus on these technologies to take them from where the proof of concept has been achieved to actual product, which is made available to the people of the country and to the people of the world. And that is the end-to-end the mission, that we do not want to just make a few steps of progress. What we want in the end is a product both from a commercial angle and from a health perspective. Because innovation, until it reaches people, is lame. It is only innovation in the labs or in the industry. It has to reach the people. And so we really are expecting to see a boost in the country for innovation in this sector and to take forward these innovations to people of India. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Dr. Alka, please.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your insightful remarks, and also thank you, Dr. Shiv Kumar, for bringing out the objective of this mission and including vision and its key objectives. So now moving forward, now we have Dr. Harish here could not join because in the last moment some other assignments. So now we are moving forward with the session 1, that is financial support. Over to Dr. Taruna.
Thank you, Dr. Alka. I would request Dr. Thangaraju to conduct this session, please.
Yes. Okay. Good morning to all. Anushandhan National Research Foundation, in collaboration with the Indian Council for Medical Research and the Gates Foundation, has initiated the Maha MedTech Mission with a total outlay of 750 crores for a period of 5 years. This mission duration, though it's fixed as 5 years, we are expecting the project supports varies from 2 years to 5 year duration, so that the products or technologies are made available at the earliest to the society. And in this mission, we are plan to have project support from 5 crores to 25 crores, but it's not fixed. In case-to-case basis, if it is really requires, we are happy to increase or even decrease the budget, and ultimately the target to be achieved on time. And in this 5-year mission, we are plan to support 50 projects depending on the funding availability. Thank you. Dr. Taruna.
Thank you, Dr.
If I can make one quick comment.
Absolutely, Dr. Shiv.
Yeah. So, look, we are in conversation with other partners, notably the Vadvani Foundation, who have expressed additional funding support for the program, which could complement some of the private sector support that our Gates Foundation colleagues are giving us. Just wanted to mention that we are. This is not completely finalized in terms of what areas and so on. This was a conversation that happened just recently. Our teams will continue to work with them to sort of finalize their involvement. But that said, I just wanted to mention this publicly because and thank them, thank Shirsenduji from Vadvani Foundation for really stepping up on short notice on this effort as well. And just wanted to mention that because that could broaden the potential areas for private participation in this program. Just wanted to mention that. So please keep that option open as you think of your proposals. And over to you, Dr. Dharma.
Thank you, Dr. Shiv, for that very encouraging note. And I would like to inform the attendees that we will be supporting you beyond the funding. And there are certain ICMR schemes that are changing the medtech innovation ecosystem, in fact, revolutionizing them. And the important ones are Medical Innovations Patent Mitra, where you are not only supported for filing your patent, but also for the prior art, for writing of the drafting of the patent, as well as ensuring that there is infringibility and definitely maintenance of the patent for 5 years, followed by technology transfer, and all at the cost of ICMR. And then we are along in the guidance of Niti Aayog, ICMR and CDSCO have initiated MedTech Mitra, which is handholding medtech innovators for clinical evaluation, regulatory facilitation, and uptake of new products by the government. And we are happy to share with you that through MedTech Mitra, more than 600 applications have been attended to in the last 644 days. And we have a clinical trial network, which is called Intent, Indian Clinical Trial Education Network. And that is 75 sites across the country, for phase 2 and phase 3 evaluations and 4 phase 1 networks across the country. We also are going to support you for follow-on funding as well as mentorship during the program. Can we move to the next slide, please? A wide range of entities are eligible across multiple stages of development. As Dr. Alka Sharma had mentioned, multiple Indian entities are eligible to apply. Definitely, they can apply as a single applicant as well. But we are definitely encouraging the collaborations because we understand that medical technology, medical devices development involves several different disciplines, and that's how collaborations are key to the success of the mission. All entities should be able to demonstrate sufficient facilities and credentials to conduct genuine research and development. And as Dr. Behel and Dr. Alka both had mentioned, that we are welcoming any technologies that already have an early stage of proof of concept. And then at any stage you're most welcome to submit an application for support. Over to Rohit.
Thanks a lot, ma'am, and thanks a lot, everyone. I think we'll get started with some of the questions. On the next couple of pages, Janvi, are there other questions we wanted to cover first before we get into the questions that are being asked live?
So Rohit, these questions have come in from the Google form and from the first webinar. So given that they are related to eligibility, best to cover these as we go from now.
Sure. So Dr. Taruna, maybe if you wanted to cover some of these, I'm seeing the same questions being posted on the chat as well. I think one pertinent question that is repeatedly being asked is, can the PI, co-PI be a foreign national? If you can clarify that.
Definitely the answer is yes. Foreign nationals, including OCIs and PIOs, may participate as PIs and co-PIs with Indian partners. And if they are employed by an eligible institution in India and have sufficient residual official service for the project duration. Thank you.
Yeah, the other questions again that are being asked on the chat as well as one, is there a restriction that the PI, co-PI have to be from academia or can they be from industry or other parts as well? And second is, how does it happen in terms of the number of projects they can be associated with, both as part of MMM but also as part of broader government programs?
So definitely we are saying that we are open to any number of partners, any number of applications they would like to submit, because they may be involved in generating multiple innovations. So we will be very happy to look forward to all their applications. However, we will be funding the PIs for at most one project proposal and at most one project as co-PI, just to ensure adequate focus on the project and accountability, because these are high impact programs.
Makes sense, ma'am. The last question in this theme was on, can the temporary staff and researchers be PIs or co-PIs? So just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you. And I think our leaders have had this vision and had guided us that temporary research staff may be eligible to serve as a co-principal investigator if the head of the organization is supporting their application and is ensuring that their position is sufficiently stable for the duration of the project.
Makes sense. And then I think there is another theme on entity eligibility. We can move to the next slide. The first question there is, incubation centers, translational research centers, engineering companies, software companies, are they allowed to participate? Obviously, in the areas, for example, software as a device. So those kind of areas, can they participate or not?
Definitely, they can participate. They are most welcome. However, there is another mission which is completely focused on AI through ANRF, and we will encourage them to utilize both the missions.
Yeah. The other question is on the company nature. I think the question is if an Indian entity, so basically an entity registered in India, but it's a 100% subsidiary of a foreign company, can they apply? Can they be part of the consortium or not?
Definitely, they can be part of the consortium. The only thing we are ensuring is that the product should be developed in India, the research should be carried out here, and we are supporting that. And later on, the manufacturing after the commercialization should happen in India. Thank you.
I think the other question, again, I saw it on the chat as well. There is some confusion that some of the applicants have to say, is the collaboration with academic institution an absolute necessary thing, or can they participate just as industry or a startup or an MSME? So would be good to clarify that as well.
Sure. We already mentioned that, and I'm reiterating, collaborations are most welcome, preferred, but are not mandatory.
Thank you. And the last part is if it is a collaboration between two entities or multiple entities for that matter, how would the funding get split? Would it only go to one of the applicant and then get redirected to others, or would it directly go in some proportion to all the applicants?
Very pertinent question, Dr. Rohit. We will be supporting the applications the way they come. So if there are multiple entities involved and they would like to receive independent funding, we are open to that. However, if they consider that the PI should get the funding and to have a more advisory role in placing the funding to different entities, we are also okay with that.
And I'm seeing the chat live. I think two other questions on this. One was, if your startup is not registered yet, can you apply as an individual in the anticipation that the startup will get registered over the due course?
Unfortunately, that is mandatory for submission of the application. So at this moment, yes, we may have to decline such applications.
Yeah, and the other question is there is a startup entity who have had DPIT certification already, but they don't have DSIR certification. So would this adversely affect our application is the question from the startup entity.
If they are able to establish that they have sufficient research infrastructure available with them, DSIR certification is not mandatory.
Right. And I think two other questions on this. One was, how many projects can they apply for? Is there an upper limit? And secondly, how many projects can they get selected for? And the last question in this theme was, is it mandatory that the product is manufactured in India? I think some ambiguity on this, so we can clarify both. During the research stage, are there restrictions on whether, for example, the test batches need to get manufactured in India or can they be imported? And after commercialization, what is our expectation whether these products should be manufactured in India or can they be manufactured elsewhere? So those two questions.
So for the first question, for submission of multiple applications for multiple products, I've already responded to. And for the product to be manufactured in India after the research program, yes, we would like to see that the research that we are funding, the product that is coming out is, being marketed in India. That is our aim. However, we understand that projects may need to use global contract manufacturers during the R&D prototyping phase, or to manufacture some of the components or to import some of the components. Such kind of situations will be evaluated on a case-to-case basis.
Yeah. Then I think moving on to our next theme on tech readiness levels, I'll club the first three questions here. I think the first question is TRL, we are at TRL 2, we would get to TRL 3 completion in next 2-3 months. In the anticipation of that, can we apply or not? And similarly, there are questions on TRL 8 and TRL 9, can we apply or not?
Definitely not at TRL 9. because that is the commercialization stage, but devices at TRL8 are definitely eligible.
Yeah. And then I think there is a question on documentation. What are the documents needed for evidence of different TRL levels? So, ma'am, if you wanted to clarify the list that has been shared. Yeah.
Very happy to inform that our portal should be live soon, hopefully before the Diwali celebrations begin. And we will have all these FAQ documents on the website and annexures informing you and enabling you to submit the application. However, if you still have queries, we have our email for connecting us, and we will be responding to the emails as promptly as possible on our part.
There is other question that I'm seeing on the chat, which is to say, if we have portfolio of projects, is it better to apply those individual projects, or can we combine them and have a sort of a platform or a portfolio of projects that we can apply together as one submission?
It depends. If they would like to have a platform technology and then making some products out of it, a series of products, most welcome.
And then I think there are some very specific questions related to product categories that I'm seeing on the chat. People have asked on blood purification, wound dressings, etc. Maybe either if you wanted to clarify how the definition related to Sedesco will be used in all such regards.
Absolutely rightly pointed out, Rohit. Our focus is medical devices. So whatever is covered as a medical device as per the definitions and risk classifications of CDSCO, you may be submitting your applications, and we would encourage you to visit the CDSCO website for more details. And our website will be providing you the links for that.
Makes sense. Team, if we can move to the next page. I'm on this one again. I think because there are multiple questions related to the product categories, etc. I think right hand side, if you wanted to re-emphasize, would be great.
So at this moment, we are completely focused on medical devices, which includes the in vitro diagnostics. However, for this call, the therapeutics and vaccines, as well as the broader digital health applications for supporting wellness lifestyle, are out of scope.
Makes sense. I think there are a couple of other slides we had on national health priorities and how would they get considered and the exemptions for those. Ma'am, if you wanted to cover those, and I think I would suggest we can come back to the rest of the questions. I'm keeping a tab on the chat box. So maybe we cover a few slides and then come back to the rest of the questions.
Sure, Rohit. We will be encouraging those medical devices that are proposed, which are in alignment with national health priorities. And we have listed our key national health priorities here, from communicable diseases, non-communicable diseases, women and child health and nutrition, ambulatory care, oral health, primary health care, AI in healthcare, and cell and gene therapy. I understand that cell and gene therapy has certain medical devices that are being used. So in this scenario, we are mentioning that. And for direct financial support to the private sector companies, MSMEs, and startups, the mission will prioritize technologies that impact communicable diseases, which is the section A, the women and child health and nutrition, section C. And I would like the applicants to please note that technology that are aligned with national health priorities listed here will be exempt from cost sharing, and the technical advisory group will be empowered to make a final determination on the cost sharing requirements on a case-to-case basis.
So I think on the types of devices, we already covered question number 2, 3, maybe on 1 and 4. 1 was, is the objective only limited to lower cost alternatives? I think you already clarified that, but given this question has been asked quite a few times, would love your clarification again on this.
Thank you, Rohit. I would like to clarify that though we have put a range from 5 to 25 crores of grant to the applicant, we encourage, if there are budget sizes lower than this, but they are making a high impact and are of relevance to the Indian public health, we would like to go ahead with them. So people are encouraged to apply.
And the last part was on software as a medical device. I think we had seen offline before this webinar many questions on what kind of digital platforms can be considered there. So would just be helpful to get clarity on what definition would get used for SAMD.
Sure. I'll reiterate, we will follow the CDSCO definitions of software as a medical device. And this includes the software that is intended for medical purposes as defined by CDSCO for diagnosis, treatment, prognosis, without being part of a hardware medical device. And this excludes the software intended for administrative support, software that enables clinical communication and workflow, and the software intended only for clinician reference or support.
Thanks a lot. Would now request Dr. Thanga to come in on the funding terms, and team, if we can move to the next page.
Thank you, Rohit. So, as we indicated earlier, the funds are going to be in the mode of milestone-linked disbursement. That means it will be released on phases as soon as you complete each stages. And though the timelines are going to be maintained very strictly, if you are moving forward and finishing your targets at the earliest, we are happy to release the next phase of funds. And there is no benefit sharing. Grant in aid support will be given to the participants, and there is no requirement for sharing of revenue, equity, royalty, or payback of any kind. And cost sharing, as it has been already been addressed, the academic research institutions and startups are exempted from cost sharing. However, the other private sector entities are expected to contribute a minimum of 30% of their share of the project cost. That means what is their share only, not to the total cost of the project. And the IP is going to be fully owned by the grantees. Next slide, please. Yeah. So the applicants or the beneficiaries are expected to use the funds for the legitimate R&D purpose, manufacturing and commercialization activities. And it will be released in two broad categories, recurring expenses and non-recurring expenses. Under the recurring expenses, you can use personnel directly involved in the project, consumable, project-related field works and travels, and contingencies to meet any unexpected expenditures while executing the project. The other costs could be of various nature, including cloud compute credits or software licenses, publications, or patent filing and other kind. And for the non-recurring expenses, purchase of equipment, softwares, long-term purchase of cloud or remote facilities, preclinical and clinical trials, all these things will be supported under the recurring expenses. And funding cannot cover the civil infrastructure or the rental expenses and CROs. The cost already incurred prior to the grant sanction, it should not be covered under this support. The general corporate overhead and unrelated expenses will not be covered. And the activities not connected to the approved milestones or scope of the project should not be considered for funding, or the fund should not be utilized for those purposes.
So Dr. Thanga, I think few questions we had received in before this webinar related to funding. I think you already clarified the instrument, but there were still questions regarding whether it is a loan, equity, royalty. If you can provide more guidance on that.
Yeah, it is a grant in aid support, and the support is going to be given fully to the selected candidates. And the thing is, we are not going to expect any payback mechanisms or royalty in terms of loan or revenue sharing arrangements, nothing.
Yeah, and then I think there are questions. So as you mentioned, the limits for the project funding is from 5 to 25 CR. I think there were questions on both the sides to say if we need less than 5, is it allowed? And if we need more than 25, can that be considered?
Yes, it will be considered. Our technical advisory group definitely will go through the budget proposed, and in cases where the budget is proposed less than 5 crore will be considered if the project is really technically good and it covers the motto of our.
Yeah. And I'm also seeing the chat. I think there are questions related to what all can this funding be used for. So I think you already mentioned some of the heads, but people have been asking, for example, for staff compensation, etc. Could it be used? And are there restrictions then on how much can the staff be paid because the entity is leveraging this funding?
Of course, there are some payment restrictions are there in terms of government order, how much you can pay for a contractual employee, all those things are there. However, ANRF has an additional flexibility as long as you are not exceeding the recurring grant, you are flexible to utilize the funds as per the requirement of the project. And however, ICMR has some restrictions on manpower recruitment and payment of manpower. They have to follow the government regulations on those payments.
Makes sense. I think, ma'am, you had mentioned around apart from funding, there are a lot of other avenues and enablers available for the grantees. I think there are questions regarding whether aspects like Patent Mitra, MedTech Mitra will be offered on a fee basis or are they free of cost? If you can
No, they
clarify.
are completely on ICMR's cost. So definitely every service requires a cost, but to be incurred by ICMR and nothing to be borne by the innovators.
Yeah. I also see a lot of questions on accounting of this grant. I think we can take that offline. Would be best, I think, to apply your financial principles there in terms of how you are accounting this grant in your books. Won't be able to take some of those live. I think two other questions. One was on the cost sharing. Which all entities does it apply to? Where are the exemptions? Dr. Thanga, you already mentioned, but if you can again clarify some of this.
Yeah, as we indicated earlier, the private entities, especially industries and MSMEs, are.
Sorry, not able to hear. Is it me?
Yes, Dr. Rohit, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Okay.
Hello.
Dr. Thanga, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry for some internet issues. As I told earlier, the MSMEs and industries and other private entities are expected to share 30% of their cost. It's not against the total cost of the project, but it's against only the share of their component only. However, the startups, academic and research institutes are exempted from the cost share requirement. The technical advisory group will make a final determination on cost sharing requirement, as Dr. Taruna has pointed out, the cases where exemptions will be given.
And the last was on the sources of fund that can count for co-funding. So whether it is funding from the entity itself, private institutional investors, what all can count as the 30% co-funding?
The source of it covers cost sharing, includes internal budget allocations from the institutions or investors, or if they could able to find some private entities within India to support, it is welcome addition. And in-kind contribution towards facility equipment are also allowed, and it will be considered against the 30% of cost sharing. All these things, the final call will be based on the advice of the technical advisory group.
Makes sense. Do one of you please want to give a sense of all the timelines, not just the stage, but the
Yes.
future as well? Yeah, please.
Yeah, the timelines, and I'm happy to inform the group that and the participants here in the group, the actual online submission portal will be made available today by 10:30, and people who have already kept ready their proposal, they can go forward and register yourself and submit the proposals in the online portal. Though initially we have indicated that 31st October is the last date, we are expecting there will be a chances for extension, further extension in case if it is required, and more number of requests coming from the participants. And we are in the target that to close the full proposals, receipt of full proposals by December 2025, and then evaluation, completion of evaluation and review and announcement of results are planned in the first week of February, so that it will ensure that the funds are getting released during the end of February. So this is the online portal, anrfonline.in. You can register if you have registered already. You can directly use your username MedTech Mission, and it will guide you through for submission of the proposals. Otherwise, you can register yourself. In case you are finding any difficulties of identifying your institution, your organization, please write to support@anrfonline.in so that it will be registered immediately. Over to Dr. Pramod.
Okay, good morning to all the participants. I'm Dr. Pramod from Anusandhan National Research Foundation. I will just walk through the CFP concept note submission form. So it is a very simple form. Sections. In the first section, there is a project overview or technology overview, and it will have again two subparts. Like in the first part, you'll have to provide 10 basic questions, and then second part, you'll have to provide some short responses. I will go through that. What are the points mentioned there in the next slides? But in section B, you'll have to provide some details about the prior financial support. Section C will be details about developmental status, and then in the fourth section, you'll have to provide the support needed from MedTech Mission, and there will be two questions regarding some breakup about the fundings required. Next slide, please. So this slide is about the multiple helpline supports, email IDs and supports that are provided in the website. So if you have any queries related to this program, you can always reach out to us at mahamedtechmission@gmail.com, or even my email ID is mentioned there. So we'll try to help out whatever possible from our end through emails as well as through phone calls. Next, please. So here we'll walk through the CFP concept note submission forms. So in the first part, there will be like section A that will have a project or technology overview. In the first part, as I told, that you need to provide some basic details that will include name and intended use of technology, the PI affiliation, then whether DSIR certificate is required or not, yes or no, do you have or not. Then what does the device have a predicate? Then you'll have to provide some details about the TRL stage, what stage the your proposal is, then CDSCO risk classification, IP status, regulatory status, and then alignment with disease areas that will have multiple drop-down menus from where you can select and then fill up the application form in the under the basic details. In the next part of this technology overview, you will be required to provide some short responses about brief overview of the project of the technology, then rationale of the project, what is innovative or what is novel in your project, then what are the market opportunities, then projected sales price, then expected impact on the public health, and then what is the potential to reduce the import dependency in your proposal or the technology that we are planning to do. In the next part, in the section B, you will need to provide 3 basic details regarding the prior financial support that will include total funding committed to the project till date, then the total funding utilized to achieve the current TRL, and for top, you need to provide top 5 major funding sources from where the amount or the funding you have received till date. In the third section, section C, you will need to provide details about the developmental state. Next slide, please. About the developmental status. So here also 3 short responses are required, like verifiable outputs or the achievements from your project till date, then key technical, regulatory or scale-up barriers that are faced by you during the project, then future critical milestones planned for the project, and if any major challenges are anticipated while carrying out this project, that you need to provide under C. And under section D, that is the 4th section, here you need to broadly provide details about the support needed from the MedTech Mission. So on the first part, you need to provide the total funding that is required over the period of 5 years. And the breakup for this amount will be under 3 parts, like proof of concept, validation, and then commercialization support. So under these 3 subheads, you need to split across the 3 key stages of the development. So all this is just an short overview, but once you will go through the online portal, the entire word limit to fill up the details, then drop down details are there, then even the fields, whatever is mandatory, what is not mandatory, all is very minutely worked out. So hopefully you will not face any issues while submitting your CFP proposals. So wish you all the best, and portal will be live today and you will be able to submit the proposals from today. Thank you so much. Now we can go to the next section. If there are any question answer session, then we can take up some questions.
So we have covered most of the questions on the chat. So would request you all if you can give your closing remarks.
So Rohit, if we have no other questions, should we present a formal vote of thanks to all our dignitaries?
Yes, please.
Thank you. And I would request Dr. Harpreet Singh, my colleague at ICMR, to kindly present the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Firstly, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the leadership of 3 organizations, Dr. Rajiv Behr, Dr. Shiv Kumar Kalyan Raman sir, and Dr. Harish, for launching this initiative. And my special thanks to Dr. Alka Sharma, Additional DG Extramural, for sharing the valuable insights about this program. And to our esteemed speakers, Dr. Turnam Madan and Dr. Thangaraju, and Dr. Pramod for sharing the critical details about the program and solving most of the queries of the applicants. And I would also sincerely appreciate the efforts of the BCG for organizing this webinars, and apart from, the most importantly, all the attendees for sharing their valuable time in the morning. Thank you everyone.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks.